Now here comes question 6, and we didn't put the answer up ahead of time, that the graph should be there. So in that graph, you should determine which of the graphs in that diagram is f, which is f prime, and which is the integral from 1 to x of the function f of t dt. And then the 1, I hope you can see the 1, it's right about where the blue, I could illuminate it for you. Yeah, so right where Bill's finger is, that's where the 1 is. And then there are your choices. F is red, F prime is blue, and the integral is green. And then I think if I keep reading like that, it might distract you, so I won't keep reading them. But if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. So we'll see what, this one is kind of a hard one. For 600 points, so 2 people got it right. It did turn out to be C, that F was green, F prime was red, and the integral from 1 to x of F is blue. So who got that one right? Krista. And, all right, so Krista, how'd you get that?
Well, I just knew that in order for the sum, like the integral to make sense, the sum was going to have to oscillate, so it wasn't going to be kind of growing and changing at the same rate. And then I just looked for the derivative, which every peak of the original function, there should be a cross at the x-axis.
Yeah, so where something has a max or a min, there should be the derivative of it should cross, it should be 0, right? And again, it's kind of hard to see, so that's very good, 2 of you getting that right. And we'll see what that does to the score. So Krista and Jeremy now tied first. You both got that right. Jeremy got it as well for 1,200 points. Then Francis has 1,100 points. Sherilyn has 1,000. Edward with 900, and Wendy with 600. Now, the way we got these contestants is not we didn't stand at the top of the escalator and pull out people at random, but they took a qualifying test, and so these people all did very well in the qualifying test. And we did that in a conversation with scientists night. And one of the questions we ask after the math questions is what you'll do with the money. And so, Edward, do you remember what you were going to do if you won money in the game? What your plan was for the money?
No.
It involved gambling.
I probably said gamble at 51% of it.
That's exactly what you did. You said he would bet half of it, or at least half of it if he won it. All right, so that if you do win, and you have a particular game you like the best, or is it the lottery you're going to bet it on?
Not really.
Well, it's good. It's good not to have definite gambling plans, especially this time in the morning. All right, so here comes question 7 for 700 points. A very tight game. What is the positive solution for x to the following equation? It's 1 plus x squared plus x to the 4th plus x to the 6th, on and on like that infinite series, that sum equaling 6. Is it 2/3, square root of 3 over 2, where the square root just goes on the 3, 5/6, or the square root of 30 over 6, where that's radical, or the square root is just on the third work? We'll see if the fast work leading to D is correct. It was, very good. Very good helping under pressure too. And so it was the square root of 30 over 6. And anyone besides your helper who is now collapsed on the floor want to explain how they got that? So we know how you got it, Edward, because you asked him. How'd you get it, Wendy?
Well, it's just the square of the series of 1 over 1 minus x, and so I just squared that and set it equal to 6.
Okay, and it came out square root of 30 over 6?
It did.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so that sum on the left is 1 over 1 minus x squared, as long as you have the right kind of x. And then when you solve it, that square root of 30 over 6 is the right kind of x. It's within that interval from -1 to 1 open. All right, so good work. 5 of you figuring out. Oh, that's very good. So we'll see now what the score is. We have 2 questions left still. So Jeremy now in first place, all by himself with 1900. What a tight game, unbelievable. Francis with 1800, Sherilyn with 1700, Edward with 1600, Wendy with 1300, and Krista with 1200. So you all have different scores, and we don't know what the odds of that would be. And it's all very close. Wow. And so 3 people still have their help. I think it's the 3 people farther away there. And so Sherilyn is stealing their buzzers so that they can't use it to signal for help. And we still have 2 questions left.